Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this very platform, Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV. Please like and share this program on all platforms. Share to family and friends. Make sure you get across to anyone that is close to you so that this information can get to those who need to hear us. In this platform, we bring information that has to do with the Biafran people. Information coming from the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa and updates that has to do with the restoration of independence of Biafra. On today's program, I am going to share with you.
And I looked at the topic, Igbo quest for Nigeria's unity. These are things that agitate my mind. I started thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation. And the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country. This is was said by Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the former Prime Minister. The fourth and the last, let me not bore you. And I quote, each of our three regions is vastly different in many respects. But it has this in common, that despite variety of languages and custom, or differences in climate, all form part of one country which has existed as a political and social entity for.
I have been part of a committee that investigated the atrocities of the Boko Haram. And that committee indicted the military more than anything else. There is no house in Borno that the military has not plundered. There is no house in Borno. There has been committee after committee set up by the government. And the government has failed to bring these people to book. In fact, this current leadership of the military in Nigeria today are an extension of that one. And this government has failed to even acknowledge the reports of those investigations. We all know today that in this government, papers have been given, investigations have been made into the atrocities and the corruption in the military. We all know today that the Air Force, the papers or the investigation of the Air Force has been made public. That of the Navy has been made public. But that of the army has been swept under the carpet by this government. Because they are not only sustaining it, they are not only retaining those culprits, but they are still serving in various capacities in this government, of a government that is supposed to be fighting corruption more than any other place, or more than any other thing. Now, with this, we should also look at the irresponsibility of the political elite. The political elite in this country have done nothing but to cash in on this poverty, on this ill education of the mass majority of Nigerians. They use them, they have used you and turned your psyche into slaves, slaves of religious and ethnic manipulations. No one has ever seen the son of a governor even going out to campaign. No one has ever seen the son or the daughter of the president going out to campaign. And no son of even a councillor, not to talk of a senator or a chairman or a governor, that has been abducted or that has been slaughtered on the streets. But the idiots that call themselves the masses allow themselves to be used through religion or ethnicity to divert attention, but to continue to make you into slaves that will be exploited again and again unending. So until you put into your thick heads that you are no slaves to anybody, that the resources of Nigeria is ours, then you will continue to be enslaved. You will be where you are forever, starving. I have never seen the son of the imam being slaughtered or rioting. Neither have I ever seen the son of the pastor. I don't know the difference between a Christian child and a Muslim child. Ladies and gentlemen, we can go on and on. However, the crux of the matter is that we don't have a nation. As it is, we don't have a country. Because the primary responsibility of every government, that which gives legitimacy to any government, is to secure the territorial integrity of that nation and to provide security for lives and property, and to give us an enabling environment to live and to sustain our lives without hindrance, without fear of being kidnapped or being killed or being assassinated. That is the primary responsibility of any government. Any government that fails to do this lacks legitimacy to govern and lacks and should be said to have failed, woefully failed. It is left to Nigerians now to decide, to wake up and say, have I been given what is duly mine? Have you received it? Or are you still parasites? Are you still slaves in your mentalities? You have to be able to think. As for our military, we are demanding a thorough overhaul of this military. Anything short of this is a cahoot. Anything short of this is, to say the least, the government is a beneficiary. The people in government are benefiting. For so long as you see crime within the prism of tribe or religion, you are part and parcel of the problem. Because you are perpetuating it, you are not looking for solutions. And what does it matter? What does it matter to the victim? Does it make any difference to the victims of Mambila, Benue, or Zamfara, under which government they were killed? The dead is dead. The orphan is orphaned. Does it matter who made it happen or who allowed it to happen? So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't say much because I did not even prepare a paper. You have to forgive me. But we all have a responsibility, not only to ourselves, but to our children. Anybody, I have said, who sits on the fence without saying anything or doing anything is either a coward or a hypocrite, or both. So the choice is yours. I'm not a coward, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm a fighter. Fight along with us. That is virtually senile, and another person that has been associated on several occasions with funding terrorism. That is Kashim Shettima. Kashim Shettima, we should not forget, Kabiru Sokoto. Kabiru Sokoto was one of the most wanted terrorists, and he was found and arrested in his house. Let us understand and let us not forget, this terrorism, this banditry, this carnage is not just happening by mistake. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. A multi-billion-dollar industry because it takes a lot of money on defense budget. It has a lot to do with the sale of drugs. It has a lot to do with mining and illegal bunkering and illegal and illicit mining. And look at the areas that are generally affected by this. Take the Northeast, for instance. In the Northeast, you have the blue diamond. That is a strategic mineral. You have oil at the Chad Basin that is being explored right now, but illegally. You have Zamfara. If you go to Zamfara, Zamfara has more gold than Ghana. Zamfara's gold is being traded in Dubai and other parts of the country. There is a market called Nigerian gold in Dubai. Go and check. So who is doing this mining? Most times they are the governors, the people in